What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do one about 5 overlooked rookies that I don't think very many people have heard about, and their cards are going to be very low on the market, and then in the next couple of years they have very high potential. The first rookie that we're going to go over today is going to be Ryan Flory. He was a round 6 pick, pick 216 from Missouri. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, so he's a pretty big dude. He's pretty physical, really good at taking jump balls, things like that. See, his cards are really low right now on the market. A green scope prism, $9.74. A checkered, $8.59. That's pretty good. Autos, I mean, it's an auto rookie, so they're always gonna go for a good little bit. But he has good potential. He's sitting behind CeeDee Lamb and Turpin. He's the second string out of the second string, so if anyone goes down as a starter, he's going to go in and he's going to have a lot of opportunities in the future. Last year he played 11 games, had 10 receptions for 14 targets, so that's pretty good. 102 yards with that, and then he averaged 10.2 yards a catch. Like I said, he's sitting behind CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, and Ante Turpin. He's the first of the second strings above Jonathan Mingo, so he's going to be the first one in if anyone goes down or gets hurt, or if they need a sub, or if they go into a full wide receiver look or anything like that, or empty or anything. So he has a lot of opportunities ahead of him, and a lot of opportunities to become a better receiver with Dallas in the future. So I think that as he develops and plays, his prices on his cards are going to go up, especially during the season. So right now, when he hasn't really done much and it's the off season, there's not that much hype around these cards. Is a good time to get in on them. The next rookie that we're going to talk about is going to be Jordan Whittington. He is a receiver for the Rams, and these Rams have a very good history in the last few years of developing these wide receivers that come in and aren't thought of as an insane receiver when they're drafted, but then end up having a crazy season and put in top 5 receiver for that season or top 10 receiver for that season. So they're really good at developing their wide receivers, and they use 4 wide receivers in a lot of their looks instead of the typical 3. So he has more chances than probably the rest of the rookies as far as receivers go. He was another round 6 pick at pick 213, so a little bit above Flory, and he played 15 games last season, so quite a bit of games. 22 receptions for 28 targets, so he caught a good chunk of his passes for almost 300 yards, averaging 13.3 yards per game or per catch. So his cards have a lot of potential in the future. Me personally, I am holding on to one of them because I think that he's going to do great, because the Rams have developed a lot of their wide receivers out of nowhere. He's the first of the second strings, right behind Tutu Atwell. The only downside is that they did just pick up Devontae Adams, but I don't think that's really going to be an issue for him because that contract is not a very long contract. So I'm sure he's going to get a lot of opportunities to excel this year, this upcoming season, and all the seasons after that. And he's in a really good pass-heavy offense that uses a lot of guys, a lot of receivers all at once. So the next guy I want to talk about is Jordan Travis. Now his cards are going to be on a little more of the expensive side because he is a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks simply go for a lot. But the good news about him is that there's literally no information on him because he has not played a snap of NFL yet. He was hurt when he was in college, and then the Jets drafted him. And so he has not played in college yet. Obviously, he was sitting behind Aaron Rodgers last season. Even if he was healthy, it wouldn't have mattered. They were not going to play him because it's Aaron Rodgers. So but now he's sitting behind Justin Fields. So I don't think, to be honest, it's that big of a threshold to get over. He's still questionable, but he's still questionable as the third string, but I think he's got to get past Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields. And he was, in 2023, he was in the 5th slot voting for the Heisman. And he was leading his team undefeated that season before he went down and got injured. So I feel like he has a lot of potential. And even if he, doesn't succeed or do anything, his cards are pretty cheap. So you're not losing a whole bunch of value on that, depending on, what cards you're buying. But most of these cards I feel like are going to stay at this price, even if he doesn't, because he hasn't played a snap of football. So these are about as low as these cards can get. They're just rookie quarterback cards, so they're going to sell for a little bit. But outside of them being rookie quarterback cards, they really have no value outside of maybe personal fan base gain. So the next guy that we're going to talk about is another wide receiver, Bub Means on the Saints. Now, I wasn't going to talk about him because I really didn't know very much about him. But when I was looking into it, looking at the depth chart for the Saints, it turns out that a lot of their team is questionable. So a lot of their weapons, Taysom Hill is questionable, Chris Olave is questionable, Alvin Kamara is questionable, Kendre Miller is questionable. So there's a lot of their offensive playmakers, a lot of their receivers are out, which means that the options for the quarterback are extremely limited. And so with Chris Olave being out and Rashid Shaheed being out, that's 2 of their starting wide receivers. That automatically puts him in starting position to play, and so that automatically gives him more chances to develop and to get better. And then if he gets better and he performs next season, his cards are going to skyrocket, and it's going to be really good to get in on this now while nobody really is talking about him and nobody really has seen him do anything. So he 6'2", 215. He went to Pitt. He was drafted in round 5, pick 170. He had 9 receptions for 15 targets, so he's not as good of a catcher, but he did have 118 yards in those 9 catches, averaging 13.1 yards per catch with a touchdown. So he averages pretty good yards. His catching needs a little bit of work, but I'm sure, stats don't show everything. It's not always their fault. So next guy we're going to talk about is probably going to be the one put in the best position. He was drafted round 4, pick 135 by San Fran as Jacob Cowing, the wide receiver. Now, since they just got rid of Deebo Samuel, that automatically moves him up in the depth chart. And they are known for just having very good drafting abilities. Every rookie that they had last year that they drafted played and excelled due to injuries, and they all played at a very good level. So I think, just based off of that, we know that this guy's probably got something good going in him. Nobody thought Juwan Jennings was going to be good, and he turned out to be pretty decent. He's played pretty decent. Deebo Samuel was not super crazy until San Fran started using them. Same with Brandon Ayuk. These guys are all in a really good system, a really diverse system that also uses quite a bit of receivers. So even if he is a second string, he's still going to get lots of chances to excel and to play versus other people. I think his cards are really low right now. Buying in on him is a really good idea. He's going to go up. He's going to be one of the better receivers at some point. So, $5 right there for the Optic Red and Green. So just for comparison, this is one of the better receivers in the league right now, Malik Neighbors. All of his stuff is going really, really high. You can see this green prism card that we showed on some of the other guys was $10, $15 or less, and for Malik Neighbors is going for $241. So this is the potential of some of these cards if they have a really, really good season. You know, they may not skyrocket this high. They may not, because there's a lot of hype around league neighbors right now. That's just kind of how it goes. But you know, these cards have a lot of potential, and these guys have a lot of potential. And also, like, they're super cheap, so you know, there's no guarantee that they're gonna play good. There's no guarantee that they're gonna be insane. But you never know. They may turn out to be really good, and if they're put in the right position at the right time, in the right structure, on the right team, sky's the limit for these guys. I mean, these are the absolute lowest. Nobody really knows who a lot of these guys are unless they're a fan of the team. You know, most of these guys, I didn't know who they were until I looked them up and I looked at, you know, the draft picks, and I did my research on them. I didn't know who most of these people were. So, you know, if I would have seen one of their cards and I would have pulled it, I would have just, you know, penny sleeved it, called it a rookie, called it a day. But these guys are in some good positions to do really well and not be known. But I mean, they were drafted in the 6th rounder, so they have a little bit of work ahead of them in order to get to that top position. But these are some of the guys I see on the right teams, in the right positions, that if they are excelling and performing and improving, they have potential to be really good and their cards to skyrocket. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped you. If you want to see more like this, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see. Planning on doing more pack openings, planning on doing more videos like this where I try to, you know, figure out who is the underdog, who's not being talked about that has a chance. You know, there were a lot of people on that list that I looked at, but a lot of them, it's not that they aren't good or they don't have a chance to be good, but it's that, you know, if you're sitting behind, if you're a wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver on the Falcons, and you're sitting behind another really good young wide receiver, your chances of potential aren't as good because, you know, that person's also young and better. So, you know, I looked at a lot of guys. I think these are some 5 overrated guys. This isn't it. There's definitely more. There's definitely more videos to do, but if you guys want to see that, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.